Okay, I'm at the point where I need to start just forcing myself to work on the instrument editor, even though I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. So, because at the moment um, I'm just trying to think in my head about how it should work, and I'm drawing like diagrams with pen and paper, um, like little ideas and things, and it's not coming together like mentally. Um, so I think the best thing to do is, um, yeah, just force myself to start um, building things. And most of what I do here will be wrong, but I'll figure out what's wrong about it as I go, and then it will slowly, hopefully, transform into the right thing. Um, so let's do something here. I actually made this thing like a year and a half ago. So the idea is you'd have a key zone editor where drag you can have like different sources of things that you want to trigger using MIDI, and you could like velocity and pitch map it to the keyboard. But that is like way too advanced for what I want to do. Um, I mean, it's too advanced to do straight away. So let's see here. Why does this like change the look of the panel when I change it to a panel container? Panel. Oops, theme. Huh, that's weird. Right. I just want some kind of interface so that I can start like working on the back end. That's the thing. Like I have no way of creating anything resembling an instrument conceptually yet. And so I can't start working on the back end really because I don't know exactly. I need some kind of interface so that I can test things and play around and like understand what it is that I'm doing. So even if the interface is temporary, if I have at least something, it would be really helpful just for making actual progress. So right, this should be line edit. Um, right. So MIDI note velocity, I think is a number from 0 to 127, and the idea is you can map that to whatever parameter you want. Whatever parameter exists on the block. Oh my god! So this is what I'm talking about. Like as soon as I start creating an interface, suddenly my mind is like buzzing. Suddenly all of these like this network of possibilities is opening up in my mind, and suddenly I'm thinking about things that I wasn't thinking about before. Interesting how just like creating a fake UI here. The temporary UI just really affects the mind. So for example, you could type the ID of a block in here. Obviously, there'd be some proper interface for selecting the block, but well, you don't even necessarily have to target a block. It could be a sample or something, or a plugin. But you type an ID of a block in here, and the block might be something like a sampler plugin block. And the sampler plugin blocks each have an amplitude parameter, so you can select that here to say I want to map these MIDI values from 0 to, I think it goes from 0 to 127. Map the velocity value to that parameter. So the host knows quite a lot about the parameter. It knows like the min and max value that has been set up on the block. So I guess it would map 0 to 127 to the min and max, but then obviously eventually there would be more complex controls for specifying exactly how that mapping should occur. And then there could also be like a generic option in here where you're not selecting a parameter from the plugin, but I could just do something on the host where it's like a generic velocity to volume control, where even if you don't have some kind of amplitude parameter on the plugin, I could just do my own amplitude modulation. Also, you would want to be able to map things like velocity and note pitch to multiple parameters if you want to. But for now, I'll just concentrate on one parameter from a plugin. Yes. Okay, so the other thing I was thinking about was in manipulation. I already have the concepts of offsets and overrides, so I modified this the structure of this varying data actually, so that you can either now first of all I changed it so that the host is gonna pass in a dynamic number of varying parameter values, and it's going to supply the mapping of like what actual parameter this is targeting, like this. And we're going to pass in a mode, which is either offset or override. So offset means, for example, if you if we think of like the center pitch is C3. If you play C4 on your MIDI keyboard, then that would come through as a value of 12 semitones. And the block itself would already have a pitch set up, so you're either overriding the pitch to be exactly 12, or you're adding 12 using this offset function. Let me think about that now, actually. Yeah, I think that's fine. So by the time we get to the plugin, these values are going to be not MIDI values, so they're not going to be values from 0 to 127. They're going to be, or whatever it is, I don't actually know. They're going to be like properly mapped by this point. It's going to be mapped by the host to be in the range of the actual parameter that they're targeting. Okay, I think that makes sense. Because the host has all of the information it needs to do that. So if I select the pitch parameter here, for example, pitch is basically encoded as a linear value that, I mean, in the example of like the classic sampler, I think by default it would range from -24 to +24. So now that's interesting. I think the standard way you do it with MIDI is I think 60 is C3, and then it ranges from like 0 to 120 to represent like the keys on the piano. So if the min max for the plugin is -24 to +24, and you just select, yeah, okay, so I can't really automatically set up the mapping. Well, I can do, but it's confusing. Let me think. Yeah, I think it works fine. I think it makes sense. Yeah, it actually works fine, yeah. I just add it because the way that I'm encoding this parameter data is coincidentally it's compatible with the way that like MIDI note pitches are encoded. Yeah, you just subtract 60 right? to get to C3, and then I either interpret that as an override or an offset. Well, if it's in offset mode, then I subtract 60. Well, I still subtract 60 because in the world of Blink, 0 means C3 rather than, and then like C2 would be like -12. So it is slightly different, but it's still compatible with the way MIDI does things. I just need to like do a little bit of anyway. I'm thinking too much about that. Then the other thing I want to do is CC controls or whatever. Parameter like slider controls, whatever they're called. I might actually have to start learning about MIDI now. Is MIDI CC still a thing that's like used? This is the library that I use. What's MIDI 2? MIDI 2. Oh no! What's MIDI 2? Is this a new... Why can't I find any... Hold on. Oh, I have to learn about MIDI. MIDI 2! 2020! Oh my god. Okay, I'll just ignore the existence of MIDI 2. That's good that this library already is supporting it, apparently. Okay, yeah, just ignore that for now. I'm looking for... Let's have a look. This is not giving me anything that I want. Ugh. Message. I have like a little bit of experience with this stuff. I probably know enough about MIDI actually to do this, but I need to like remind myself of it. So I add a MIDI learn button. I'll just create an interface to MIDI learn one knob or potentiometer or whatever the term is, and then direct it to a parameter. That. What else do I want? Okay, this is fine. All right, this is just to get the ball rolling. Obviously, this would just be. I am going to use this interface now, and I'm actually going to try and get this interface to work. And I don't know how long that's going to take. But once I get it working, I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff while I'm getting this to work, and things are going to hopefully become more clear, like exactly what the instrument system is and how it's meant to work. And so eventually I just get rid of this entire interface and replace it with something better. But I don't know what the better thing is yet. That's the point. So, yeah, okay. Let's close all these files. Nothing changed here. Right. Oh yeah, I just had a completely unrelated thought. I need to change. I recently changed the names of the symbols in this library, but I just didn't change the documentation. So this is called a table, and this is called a flex table. Okay. So I did 20 seconds of procrastination there. Let's go to here. Instrument is a really long word, so I need to come up with an abbreviation. Instra? Instra. Maybe I'll use Instra everywhere. Hey, what the hell? Okay, so it targets a block ID. Which parameter should note velocity control? Right, so this is going to be a specs param, I guess. Velocity target, pitch target. let's just do that for now. Let's get that, try to get that working somehow. Make more coffee while it's happening. been a while since I've done anything UI related. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Instruments panel. Yeah. Oh, I thought Copilot was just going to guide me through it. Okay, let's engage my brain then. It's going to be that. I think it's music time. Alright, that's good. I guess there should be a pop-up panel. Okay. I should honestly just change this macro so that it ends in a public section instead. Since I always just define a struct and then do public immediately afterwards. Why don't I just move this to here? I don't use these anymore, right? Pretty sure I don't. Oh, macros. You gotta love them. Oh, what's happening now? I messed it up. I messed it up. I need to do this. Alright, that's going to cause the entire code base to rebuild now, so but it's going to do that anyway, I think. Right, yes. It's weird how it says function definition for GD and singleton class not found, but then it also gives you what the macro is expanding to. What's happening here? This is wrong, isn't it? I guess it doesn't matter. Yuck, macros. My button does not work. is happening. Oh, I know what's going on. I forgot to go here. Doesn't exist. Oh, because it doesn't exist. That's true. You need to add it to a tree somewhere. Here. Dialogues. Okay. Right, let's change it to pop-up or dialogue. Pop-up dialogue. Yes. Whoa, what's going on? Wait, what? Why does it look so strange? Do I want window dialogue? Is that the idea? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. Just keep trying stuff until it works. Okay, it's a bit off center. That? Add some margins. I mean, I should just put this in the title, right? All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm temporarily just going to create one instrument at startup, and this interface will be used to edit that one instrument. So let's do that. So this happens in startup. Now this part is definitely going to change as things go on, but for now I guess it's going to be something like add instrument What does Godot have for converting strings to integers? Not actually sure. Oh, is valid integer. That's not very cool. To int. Huh. Something like that. I need to check if it's a real block. Okay, and what actually happens after that? Right, now I have to start thinking about how to actually represent these instruments in the audio engine, what they actually are, which I'm still not sure about. So I'm going to be doing something like really temporary here, and then hoping that it will slowly, once I start playing around with it, it will slowly transform into something actually good. But whatever I start doing now is going to be very temporary and very not actually very good. But the whole point is just to at least get something in so that I can start messing with it and understanding what it is that I'm actually working towards here. It's just there's like 1,000 ways that these instrument things, whatever they are, could interact with the rest of the system. Like my mind's just swimming with ideas, and it's not crystallized yet exactly how the system as a whole is supposed to interact with these instrument things. But it's slowly it will happen. I've been in this position like multiple times over Blockhead's development, where I know that as soon as I start actually implementing things, things will just become more clear, and I'll understand like what I'm doing wrong and which parts are right, and then slowly it will transform into something else, and then just rewrite until you get something good. Alright, I'm gonna have a quick break and have another coffee.